Hello everyone, welcome back to another chit-chatty little painting video with me. And today we're doing another watercolor in my sketchbook, just a little quick one. This is kind of a recreation of one of the little panels in the comic from one of the recent pages. I'll insert it here if you don't remember which one. But it's the one where they meet the wolf beast and they see the face properly. And I just really like that panel. It's a really small one, like super tiny, the smallest one on the page, I think. But sometimes, even a small panel can turn out well. Usually it's the big ones that I'm really happy with because, well, I'm just relieved to be done with them and happy that I can move on. But yeah, this one I was really happy with, and I wanted to do like a bigger version of it, just because that was what was inspiring me at the moment. And it was easy. I didn't have to draw the body of a creature or anything, just the face. A straight head-on view of a wolf beast face. The only difference is that this one is licking its own eyeball with its long beastly tongue. So yeah, that's what we're painting today. And quick introduction of myself to anyone who happens to be new to my channel. I'm Minna and I am a comic artist. I make a webcomic called Stand Still, Stay Silent. It's my full-time job. And I make 4 pages a week. It's free to read, and it's a post-apocalyptic adventure set 90 years in the future after a horrendous illness wrecked the world, and now we're dealing with like surviving little communities and people exploring the world that was left behind, and all the horrific monsters in it, including this adorable little guy. He was honestly pretty adorable. I mean, he's not really... Some people think he's kind of scary. I think he's kind of cute. I saw some people making kind of the connection to the Dusklings from the last adventure, how they kind of feel similar. And yeah, they kind of do. They're kind of weird but and ugly but kind of goofy in a way. Like, I'm enjoying them. And they're kind of having the same kind of dark, literally dark smile. If you can call it a smile. I mean, the way wolves smile at you. Yeah, they're smiling. So yeah, that's me, that's my comic, and that's what this creature is from. And I guess I don't really have much other to say about the painting. I'm using the same technique as I did with the last video, the kind of lots of wet on wet, throwing in colors and just letting them kind of flow around with a little bit of plan ahead, but also just letting them form their own little cosmic patterns in the shadows. And I will add some details later on once this part is over. But yeah, other than that, what's new? Nothing much. I mentioned last week that I would give you guys an update on how my garden is going, since last week it was snowing and I couldn't show it to you guys. Thankfully the snow melted away in just a few days. It was pretty cold last week, like -degrees during the night and just a few +degrees during the day, so it took relatively long if you think about how, I mean, it's almost end of May and it's still so cold. But now it's getting warmer, the snow melted away and I could actually finish up the gardening stuff properly. So what I've actually done this year, first of all, I dug up 2 little bushes that my mom actually planted in my garden when I first moved here. But it's been 5 years and they have not grown at all. They grew the first summer and it looked like they were doing great, had rooted well, were gonna grow big and bushy, but then they just kind of stopped and they stayed the way they are. One of them even started like slowly withering away, like half of it died and it even shrunk. The other one just kind of stayed how it was, looking really healthy, but yeah, it just stayed there. And I figured there's so many other bushes growing in my yard, and it's so small that the ground is probably full of roots, and the other bushes are taking all the nutrients already, and these two can't compete. And so I decided to just dig them up and give up on trying to get them to grow. And turned out that the ground is actually really, clay based and very, dense on clay, and the roots were completely surrounded by solidified, almost rock hard, gigantic chunks of clay, and the roots had nowhere to go. So they had not basically grown at all outside of the initial little hole that my mom had dug for them, because there was literally nowhere to go. It was just, it's horrendous growing soil for anything apparently. So yeah, I just dug them up, got one of the clay clumps out, and just decided that this is not the spot to plant anything that needs proper roots to form. Which means I instead built a little raised flower bed there, because it gets a good amount of sun. It's like one of the few places that does get like sun most of the day, right there where the little bushes were. So yeah, now I have a flower bed there. It's so pretty. I really like the raised flower bed look, and I planted varying array of flowers. I don't remember which ones. I don't know any like summer flower names. I just picked various sets that look kind of cool in the store, like the gardening section, and we'll see what grows, if anything. Well, I'm sure something will grow. If not, weeds will grow. So yeah, that's what I did right there. And after that, oh yeah, I had to bring up a bunch of mulch for the flower bed. It takes a lot to fill one of those. Like the little store in the town had a nice sale where you could get like 5 45-liter bags of gardening mulch for 20 euros. So I bought one of those, and I was strong enough to lift them into my car. But then I had to carry them from my car into my yard, which I was too weak to do. Like, they were just too heavy. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get a good enough grip. And what I had to do was open them like in the back of my car or the trunk, and shovel a third of each bag into a bucket and carry the bucket of mulch up first, and or several buckets, like 10. And then they were, not too heavy that I could actually, with great effort, carry them up. So that was a big old ordeal, getting the mulch up the hill to my yard. But it was good exercise for my legs and arms. So that's what I did. And then next project was cleaning up my old flower bed. What's been happening is the rocks have been slowly just sinking into the ground to the point where the moss of my lawn has started like encroaching on them, and partly even engulfing the rocks completely. And yeah, my lawn is mostly moss, not a lot of grass. In the summer it will grow enough grass that I had to mow it a little bit, but there's like 90% moss, which I don't mind. It's pretty and soft, and yeah, I like it. But yeah, I dug up the rocks, put some leaves and mulch under them to, fill the pit that had come from them sinking into the ground, and put them back where they were, secure them with a little bit more mulch, and there we go. Now it's looking nice and proper again, and I can actually see it. I kind of want to make this one a raised bed too, but I also maybe don't want to, because my kitty likes sometimes running around the yard, and I don't want to like build a rock hill that she might like crash into when she's running around in a zooming moment. So I think I'm gonna keep it not raised, at least for a while. We'll see. She actually hasn't wanted to even step on the flower bed since I put new mulch on it. She's kind of scared of the way it looks, and it's too soft for her, so she doesn't like stepping on it. I'm going to plant my sunflowers there soon. They are looking horrible, at least the first batch that I had. I planted them, I pre-planted them indoors way too early. It was start of March, I think. I don't remember, but it was still too dark. They couldn't get enough sun through the window, so they got really leggy, and I think I forgot to water them a little bit too much a few times, so they are half dead. Thankfully, I planted new ones just a few weeks ago, so I have a fresh batch of pre-seeded sunflowers waiting to be planted, which is gonna be something I'll do once night temperatures stop being freezing. It's still frost during the night, so I can't really plant delicate things like these outside yet. But soon, maybe in a couple of weeks, nights will be warm enough to put them outside. So yeah, that's everything. Honestly, I have to update you guys for this week. Just garden stuff. As far as the comic goes, I've actually been talking with my printer this week about getting things rolling for the printing. Yeah, I guess I'll update you guys on that if things start progressing in the next couple of weeks. But nothing more on that yet that I can say. But I'll see you guys next week for whatever I do then. And yeah, thanks for watching. It was nice chatting again. Bye bye.